Okay, so I'm back with a talking video to talk about a show called Winx. It's been quite weird to see that there is a reboot of this show. I've never even thought about this show being a live action. I've never considered it, never thought about it. I watched the show when I was like 10 or 11. After that, when I grew up, I never revisited it. Now that I was reminded of it, I thought, oh, it's such a, it's a cute show. It's very Y2K, which is perfect for right now. This type of fashion is coming back. Not even coming back, it's back, you know, it's in full swing. And this video is just to talk about this new reboot, which is Fate, the Winx saga. I'm not going to be rehashing everything that everyone said. There's a lot of essays, video essays on this online, and I agree with all of them, or most of them, I guess. And there's also a few things that I wanted to talk about in terms of this show itself, and specifically the styling for the show, because boy oh boy did they mess it up. I've seen also a few videos where people are talking about how they think the show should have been styled, which I agree with some of them, I don't agree with others. Not because I don't agree with everything that they were saying, but it's just like sometimes like some of the videos were suggesting very low-key outfits, and I kind of just don't think that it's what Winx needs, because Winx is all about the bright colors, the glitter, the X's. They're fairies, you can do whatever the hell you want. That's the whole point of the show, you know? And I think that basically the thesis of this video is that I think this show could have been huge, just as big, if not bigger than Euphoria in terms of influence of makeup, fashion, and just being a big money maker for the creators, because of how well timed the return of Winx is in terms of how many years has passed since the first season came in, as well as the fact that the fashion that was very prominent in the show is coming back. And it would have been just a perfect situation for the creators. They were given everything on a silver platter. They didn't even have to, they wouldn't have to do anything to be iconic, and they decided not to do the obvious things that make sense for this show and this story and everything. And I just don't get it. Yesterday I thought it was gonna take I don't know, 30 minutes to compile pictures of the characters and how I would style them and what kind of feel I think the show should have had, and also just some visuals, you know, just to compile a bunch of them together to talk about them. I thought it was gonna take 30 minutes, okay? It took so long, I couldn't film it yesterday. I had to just kind of give up on it yesterday and film it today. It was a little bit hard to find the exact clothing, the exact images that would portray what I would do for it, but mostly because I'm just not that great at finding things, because if you look up arm warmers, which, you know, a lot of Winx characters wear, you just find a bunch of really ugly ones. I don't recommend looking it up because you will be disappointed with what comes up. And it's kind of like that for a lot of clothes that you try to find. Like, for example, if you just search something up on Pinterest, that's just so much ugly shit comes up. It's crazy. So it took a little bit longer than I expected, okay? However, I'm here to talk about it. I have everyone, you know, everything compiled. And I want to say that I also rewatched a whole season of the show. I did have to put it on 2x speed, skip a bunch of parts because it's just a little bit too much of repetition, you know, there's recaps, and then the characters speak quite slow, so I had to, you know, obviously speed it up and stuff like that, but that's kind of expected. It is a show for children. What else is new? This remake was supposed to be for adults, which is, for example, if we take Euphoria, the makeup and everything would be more appropriate, not appropriate, but would work really well for Winx, for example, right? There was no need to dull it down this much. So let's get into the images. I think that it would be easier if I bring some images into this instead of just talking out of my ass. Here's Bloom, and this is the outfit that she wears for I think in the first season. I'm not sure if she wears it in second season. I didn't watch all of them. It was a lot already because it was 26 episodes or something like that, and I had to skip a lot. But this is what the actress looks like. I actually think that they found a really good actress to portray her. She looks like Bloom, honestly. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. And she was the first one that I saw when I heard of the Winx reincarnation. I thought, okay, this looks promising in terms of the lead looks Bloom, at least. That's good. And then this is Bloom. This is her transformation. This is the first season. I'm pretty sure they have a bunch of transformations. I don't know how many. I know that there's at least 2 more that I've seen as a child after this, but this is the one that I remember the most. This is the one that's in the first season. This is what she looks like when she's a fairy. This is another one. I'm going to be enlarging some of the images just so you can see it better. Even though she has a power of the dragon, fire basically. This is another outfit, another one. This one is not first season, but I don't know which one it is, but I'm just gonna show you. This is a party dress that that she wore at one point. As you can see, there's a lot of, it's very Y2K, like there's nothing I can say. Not in terms of the styling being just Y2K, it definitely isn't, but in terms of just what was popular, what everyone wanted to wear. And so for her, I came up with like a few looks. So for example, I thought this top would look, it looks a lot like what she wore in terms of her skirt and stuff like that. For example, this one or this one, even this, especially this one. Come on now, right? It looks very similar and it's cute. It looks good in real life. And then we have this one, which is also, again, looks very much like the stuff that she wears in the cartoon. But I think that it could work because it is a fairy world. It's otherworld. You could have gone bright, colorful, or maybe even like use like a filter that would soften everything, make everything sparkle a little more. You could do that. Let me do that. Okay, I made it just a bit softer. I don't know if it worked, but whatever. This look, for example, also looks very Bloom. The flares, this one with big pants. It's very typical look for right now in terms of the silhouette and everything, but I think that that's great for Bloom, you know? She's not super out there, but this type of silhouette would work really well for her and still be very interesting for the show and for the audience to see her wear those silhouettes, because it's very modern and fashionable right now. Even though it is basic, it still works really well, and I think that that's what Bloom is. She's quite basic in terms of her decisions when it comes to her clothes. She's not Stella, but you know, she's definitely not Musa either. So even though Musa does wear this big baggy pants, she still has a lot more like edginess to her, which we'll get to that. Next, they oftentimes did that for the characters. In the cartoon, they would have fluffy socks or something like that with very like chunky heel. This dress could be worn by Flora or Bloom. I think this is more of a Bloom thing. It reminds me of her like party dress a little bit, except I would probably change the color. Not necessarily blue, but maybe pink or orange or something like that. She rarely wears lilac, but it doesn't really matter. You don't have to color coordinate it that much. It's all about the character shining through, while at the same time showing that the show was very stylish, and it was mostly about the not mostly about the outfits, but a lot of people enjoyed it for the outfits. The amount of outfits, everyone was so excited about new transformations because it means new outfits, new wings, new everything, new hair, new makeup, a lot of sparkles. It's all about that fantasy, and that's what we want right now, especially during this time. I would really appreciate something that's not dark and gloomy. And I know that the creator of the show is the Vampire Diaries creator, or at least like one of the producers or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not even looking into it as much in terms of like who was in charge of it. And I just think that there's no need to make it dark. It's not supposed to be dark academia. It's supposed to be light academia plus futurism, like cyberpunk kind of aesthetic, because Winx is not just all about this light academia kind of aesthetic. It's also about futurism. It's about those gadgets, those advanced technologies that they had. The next thing, this is more for everyone in the show, but I think that the hair clips or just like those really sparkly, bedazzled or rhinestone clips and stuff like that, this hairstyle would have been wonderful. They're fairies. They should be wearing something like that. This should be what it is. They could have been just the biggest thing. Could have been like all of those new trends or old trends coming back, reincarnated on screen. They could have been that for all of us. And they decided to do the opposite, I guess, of everything that Winx should be. This, by the way, this is also for everyone. Go-go boots. And look at the colors. Look at the material. It's literally all the colors, almost all of them, for the transformation outfits. I'm not saying that in the show they should have had transformation outfits. I think that just their outfits in general should have been a perfect blend of like relaxed and very core with a lot of influences from 2020, from all the fashion that came back and was remixed together, because I think that they could have had Winx then, and the wings would look appropriate with those outfits because it would look very similar to what the original show looked like. Give us glitter and colors, goddammit. Why do you hate joy? Why do you hate color? Why do you hate excitement? I don't understand. Why did you have to make it this boring and dull? In any case, this is also something that reminded me of her. In terms of layering, I think that this could look quite cute. This outfit, I put it here, but it's kind of like it's very much Musa, but this is kind of an outfit that fits both Musa and Bloom, mostly because of the arm warmers, high socks that are literally like thigh high, the chunky boot, layered kind of skirt, and this is definitely something like I would see this 100%. This is a Musa look. The reason why I put it here is because I thought that it would fit Bloom as well, and then I just forgot to move it down to Musa. But basically this looks like Musa. You can't tell me that it doesn't, right? Now I'm gonna show you what the actual outfits look like in the show. So this is what we're dealing with. Bloom. What did we do to deserve this? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I'm not gonna show you any other ones because all of them look the same. She just has like some kind of shade of either orangey or a reddish color in her shirt or her bottom or whatever the hell, and it all looks the same. It does. It truly does. Let's move on to Musa. So this is the character in the show. The pants, the underwear showing. She gives me a little bit of an e-girl vibe. This is her transformation. Fairy of sound, of music. In the show, oh, this is where we're gonna... Okay. So look at the character, right? Another outfit, this outfit. This is very much e-girl. Don't even... Come on now. Listen. In the show, instead of Musa, I mean, we do get Musa, like her name is Musa, but this is what we get. Right away, I knew this was Musa when I saw like the trailer and whatever based on her hairstyle, because it just reminds me of Musa, and like I understand like this was a conscious nod towards the character, but this character is so far off to the point where it's just not even... Why is she not Asian? We all know Musa is the character itself. And her planet even, we see her planet on the show. It's been shown to be similar or modeled after China. Old school China in terms of like the clothing. Why? Why don't we get her? Because the thing is, she's a little bit badass. She's a little bit emo or something like that. She has that edge. She's a musician. And there's so much you could do with that, especially when you have so much inspiration to pull from, because as I've said before, Winx is kind of like a combination of like light academia and cyberpunk aesthetics. If we combine them, this is gonna be what Winx is, very light cyberpunk. There is so much you could do with Musa. This is the outfit that they gave her, by the way, too. I wanna cry when I see this. It's just so bad. Such ugly outfits. Why? What did we do? Why do you hate us so much, creators of the show? Why do you hate us? This is not... God. Anyway. So here's a character. So first of all, even just... This is toned down. Very toned down, but it still could look like Musa. This type of shirt that has a lot of bit psychedelic patterns. This skirt is very much her color. Her colors are kind of raspberry reds. I put this picture because of the makeup. I think that, like, can you imagine this makeup? This is very much like slightly fairy. Does work very well in real life. But has like a little bit of that oomph, that pizzazz that we need, that we require for this show to work, to look like Winx in any capacity. This one for hairstyle, there's so much you could do with Musa's hair. This is super modern, but also at the same time it has that same flavor as Musa's kind of style. These are the pants. They're very oversized. They're quite big on her waist. It's kind of like this outfit, this one, right? Very classic Musa. This one, for example, like a combination of American influences of like street style and Asian street style combined. It's... there's so much you could do with her. It's just... She could have been it. Look at this. A bad bitch. She's wearing a bucket hat. It's a little bit last year. This is what she could have been. The little glove. She doesn't have to smoke. I'm not saying that she needs to. But this is a look, okay? The hair. This one is like so chill and relaxed, but it's so Musa, like the bagginess of her clothes, the guitar. Also, there are still a lot of looks where she's more feminine in terms of her clothes, especially in later seasons, as far as I understand, in terms of like pictures that I found or whatever. I don't remember everything exactly, so don't quote me on that, but I think that there's quite a few outfits like that. So I decided to also put this because it just reminds me of her. I think it would have been cool if she had some tattoos. I showed you what we actually got, and it's tragic. I am mad. Influence from the West of like hip-hop mixed with the influence of Asian styles, as well as like tactical gear and stuff like that. Maybe tactical gear is all of it is a little bit last year, but it doesn't matter because it still would have been cool for Musa because it makes sense for her character. It makes sense. She would just look cool. I just want her to look cool because that's what she is, you know? She just had that vibe. We all remember it if you watched it as a child. So I'm really pissed off that what we got is Stella. Stella, I remember loving her. When I was rewatching this show, I do find her a little bit annoying in terms of like her obsession with boys, but at the same time, she's a bad bitch and I love her, you know? I do. I'm actually pretty happy with the casting for Stella as well. This girl, she looks like Stella. Like, I'm not mad at it. However, everything else about it is, again, horrible. Let's see what the character looked like in the original. So we have this top, orange skirt. This is the type of outfits that we get. She wears a lot of green, different types of like green, sometimes pink. This is her transformation look. I love it. I think it's great. I remember loving it when I was a child. Fantastic. The go-go boots, they're a little bit higher than regular. Actually, no, I think it is like the height of go-go boots is just like the proportions of Winx, like the original cartoon, are really off. Her hairstyle, her wings, I love her wings. It's perfect. Great. Look at her. The sparkly two-piece, fantastic. My favorite part of rewatching Winx was just looking at their outfits sparkling. Thank you to the original creators for animating sparkles on every time they were in their outfits. And I also wanted to remind you of this outfit where they went to Domino. Me and my rusty brain, like I can't remember anything from that show, even though I just rewatched it. And they were wearing this like winter clothes. We'll get back to it because I have an outfit that's inspired by that. So then we have this. Give me Bombshell. Give me Serena van der Woodsen. My accent is coming out so bad when I pronounce that name, and I'm so sorry, but I cannot pronounce it any better, honestly. It's just the corset, the gloves, the pizzazz, the tousled hair. She's supposed to be a bombshell. She's supposed to be a fairy bombshell, okay? This outfit, it really reminds me of her, like the green top. The pants are not very Stella per se, but they fit the whole aesthetic. It would fit with the rest of the group. It would make sense in the show. This outfit too, this little bag, last 2 years and early 2000 kind of trend. Green, yellow, orange. This kind of look would be good for like something that she has to do for the royal court. Oh, this outfit, Stella. This is Stella, right? Styling is perfect in terms of like just the top, the way that it is cut. Oh, this, come on now. Come on. You cannot tell me looking at this, you can't tell me that this is not something Stella would wear. From the earrings to the glasses, the low-rise jeans with a lot of like rhinestones on them, the bag, the attitude. This is Stella once again, right? Come on. This one, me screaming. Look at this outfit. Doesn't it remind you of that winter outfit that they had on Domino, right? Because of the like sleeves, the cuffs and the collar. Doesn't it just scream Stella to you? It does to me. It does to me. This type of jewelry, both Stella and Flora could wear that. This screams their names to me. This share outfit. This, you cannot tell me that Stella wouldn't wear something like that for like a party or something. She's so extra with everything. This makeup reminds me of Stella. This can't be real. This is what they put Stella in. This is the outfit they picked and they went, this is Stella. What did we do to you to deserve this? What is this mess? It doesn't just look so bad. A Mormon mother of like 3 in her 40s outfit. Not a 16-year-old girl. Not a fashionable 16-year-old fairy princess. I need to go, like I need a break. This is just making me so upset. For no goddamn reason. Can you imagine being given this opportunity to make a show like that and you know that it would be a success just because of trends converging at the right time? The Winx crowd being the right age to appreciate this fashion and to appreciate this new take with more of a mature approach to the show. The early 2000s fashion coming back with like a full swing, with new things coming in that kind of aid this look and that makes it more of a combination of a bunch of styles to make it more interesting. The fact that the filtered kind of look is very popular online in terms of like the blurry filter, so you could have those sparkles in some moments of the show without it like being rejected by the public, by the audience, you know. And you decide to do this, you could make so much money. You could become a cult classic by making this show look like what it's supposed to look like, and instead you decided to do this. No one wants the Vampire Diaries right now. I mean, if you want the Vampire Diaries, you go and you watch the Vampire Diaries or Twilight, you know, it's a different vibe. It's not the same vibe. Flora, oh, of course. A character that they decided to just cut and replace her with Tara, who's apparently her cousin, which I don't understand how that's supposed to work, because look, all of them, I mean, maybe it's the pictures, like these pictures that are promo pictures, they all look way too old to be playing the characters that they're playing. I'm not sure how old any of them are. I think it's maybe the editing, to be honest, because 20-something-year-olds could play like an 18-year-old or something like that without it being too bad. It's a young adult, it's not a teenager, but in the way that they edited these images, it's all of them look like middle-aged women, and I don't understand why they did that, because the actresses, I don't think they're that old. I don't know how old they are, but I think that they're probably in their 20s based on like just the trailer that I saw and stuff like that. I just don't understand the editing. She has the same power as Flora. She's supposed to be her cousin. She looks like she's like a Northern European when she's supposed to be Latino. So I don't know what's going on there. Why? What for? I don't know. I just don't know why they would do that. You already have an original cast that's very diverse. What's the point of making it less diverse for the live action? I just don't get it. I don't get the decision of removing Flora and putting in Tara. Tara could have been Flora. Anyway, look at what Flora looks like. Look at her outfits, right? Like, I love this outfit. This is her transformation outfit. It looks like a petal. Great for a nature fairy. Look at her hair. Reminds you of something? Look at the top. A lot of off-the-shoulder stuff. Look at the hair. Reminds you of something? Look at this. Look at this one. We'll return to the hair. Now I'm gonna show you some of the outfits that I have picked out. So this one, I like the fact that it has a little bit of a structure. A corset, the pearl necklace from Vivienne, whatever. Very modern too, but I'm just saying that the colors, the fact that it's pink and green, the flowers, they are a little bit more understated. They're not like massive flowers. It all makes sense. Now, these types of dresses would be definitely something she would wear. This old school kind of square neckline cut out on the leg. Just the vibe of it all, you know. A little bit cottagecore, but not quite. It's more on the modern side. Very feminine. She is very feminine. She's a great character. I'm so mad that they didn't have her in the show. I really like her. Like, she's the opposite of a pushover, but also very gentle and kind, which is a rare combination in characters in general. I really like her. This top kind of reminds me of her, maybe a different color scheme. I don't think she would be wearing a lot of just white, something more in like a warm tone kind of side. This as a makeup look for her. And also, I just feel like it would be really cool if she had some kind of relationship with nature around her, like this, like having like butterflies just sitting on her randomly or something like that. This outfit is casual, or an outfit that she would wear on a colder day. Skirt, the layering of it all, the earthy tones. This type of layering, I just think that she would wear a lot of mesh. This reminds me of her. So the hair. How do you see the character that has an e-girl hair? Literally, maybe not an e-girl, I don't know what you would call that. It's kind of e-girling, like two-tone hair with the two stripes. It hasn't been in for so long. It's back in, to the point where right now I would say that it's kind of not the time to get it yourself if you want to get it, because it's like past the point where what everyone was getting it. But this past year has been very much this style of hair, and you could have done it in a way that would feel super throwback while also being super modern, while also perfectly embodying Flora, because she literally had that hairstyle for the entirety of the show. And her hair was also with like, you know, like the curtain kind of bangs style, which is also in. It's just, it was given to you. Literally on a silver platter. Why didn't you take it? Why didn't you take it? It could have won so many awards if they did it right, with like a little bit of like campiness, you know. Like, don't be afraid to make a fairy world like look like a fairy world. It's a fairy world. It's supposed to be full of fantasy, you know. This hair, perfect for her. Like, it literally looks like it, except maybe like the bangs should have been cut in. So this dress also reminds me of her. This dress, personally, this I think is Alexander McQueen or something like that. I would be designing this dress. I wouldn't have this like white cage under it. I would have something a little bit more subtle, just because I think this is a little bit outdated. But I think this dress is from like far back, maybe like 2013 or something like that. So I don't know. Love this. I don't know. Butterflies for Flora. So let's see what we got for Tara. Whatever it is, it would have been totally fine if you dressed her like Flora. If she would have been Flora. I don't understand the decisions that they've made. They got Tara. They wanted to have somebody who doesn't have like those crazy Winx proportions, right? Because like none of them are gonna have them, but you know, like someone who looks like a normal human being. They wanted more like body diversity in their cast. That's all great, but I just don't understand because at the same time they whitewashed the entire cast too. What's going on? What is happening? Tecna, not in the show at all. She's one of the original 5. I don't know why she wasn't in there. I don't get why Tecna got just completely removed. I guess it's because there's no technology involved in the surroundings of them and in like the setting, which is again a big mistake because that was the whole like part of the flavor of Winx, like a big part of the setting, the big part of what was appealing about the Magic's world. In any case, this is her outfit, this is her transformation. I love that they had like, she had a helmet and her wings were digital wings, which is perfect for her. Her heels were really interesting and funky, love it. This is another outfit that she wears. So the first one that I picked was like very chill outfit that would work for any setting. It's very toned down, but I think that the silhouette is right. Look at this. Doesn't it feel like a Tecna silhouette? I just feel like they would look really good. Just turtleneck but without sleeves, this skirt. This outfit reminds me of Tecna because of just like she has this cyberpunkish late 90s early 2000s look. This, I feel like she would wear a lot of like matching tops and bottoms, kind of sporty, kind of a little bit tactic wear. This is see-through. I don't think that she would wear something see-through, but I included this because of the glossiness of the material. I feel like it fits Tecna very well. Also, I think that she would be the type of person who would wear reconstructed or deconstructed clothing. You could have her wear something that's re-pinned. Clothes like this that have interesting cutouts, layering. These types of dresses would be so fun to play with for the creators of the show and to have on the show. Out there, runway kind of thing, very geometric. You could put her in this for a party or for like some kind of ceremony or something like that, and it would make total sense because she's Tecna. Glossiness, it all works for her. She should be like a walking architecture digest of a contemporary modern building style, you know. This outfit, silver, the repurposing of material. Same with this, for example, it's like a two-piece, it's gray, gray silver, I feel like would fit her really well. I like that it has some modern feel in terms of garter bottom part of the garter belts, kind of merged with the trend of wearing corset. This type of clothing, unexpected cutouts, unexpected connections of the clothes, like something very geometric and experimental. Next one, Aisha / Layla. I like Aisha, so I'm gonna go with Aisha, but I think the version that I watched, which wasn't it wasn't in English, it was Layla, I think. But I like Aisha, so I'm gonna go with Aisha. I love it. It also reminds me of Normani's outfit in Motivation music video. Her outfit was green, which I don't understand why they decided to put Aisha in a bunch of blue in the show. Let me show you what the actress looks like. Thank God they did not whitewash her. I like her hairstyle. I think the hairstyle looks very much like something that Aisha would have. I like the baby hairs. Great. Don't like the styling once again, even though this one was actually pretty close in terms of she's got a little bit of like that sporty vibe going on, you know, but still not great. So this is what she wore in the show. Do you remember when everyone wanted a skirt like that? Everyone wanted a khaki skirt that looked like this. This one, I also noticed when I got this picture, look at her holding that camera. The camera is not in her hands, it's just placed upon the picture. I don't know why. Her hair is two-tone here and like it looks a little bit reddish, which I think would have been kind of cool. She's been wearing like some kind of sporty clothes, a little bit more like hiking gear, but also a lot of street style inspired stuff. Pick this one. The colors, I think that it would be cool if she had like maybe some tie-dye, you know, going on. These outfits, I really think that it would be cool if she had like a matching plush kind of outfit. This one, which she's wearing just sweatpants, regular shoes or whatever, the top, you know, but the point is that she's also very feminine. She has this clips in her hair, have rhinestones on them, and also these shoes because they literally look like her transformation shoes. Also, this outfit, they're comfortable, but they're not just sporty clothing. Like this, for example, is like a sweater with some pants. It's not sweatpants, just regular pants. She has like a cuter side to her, not just the, you know, active sporty kind of thing going on. So I think that this type of makeup, this blush with the lip gloss and like the clips, come on now. This outfit, just because it's green and it looks like her transformation clothes, and I just think that I just like this dress. I just do. Okay, I think that it would have been fantastic if we could see her wearing something like that in the show. This one too, like the mesh top, I really want this top. Can you tell I like mesh tops? Can you tell? Her hair, fantastic. The color is great because it reminds me of Aisha's powers, you know? So let's move on to Trix, which we don't have them in this show at all, in this new live action show, which I don't understand. They're so iconic. They were carrying the show. I mean, okay, no, Winx is also great, but like I love them just as much as I love Winx. They're great. The only thing I didn't like about them is the fact that they were mean to Nut and that little duck. When I was a child, I was so upset about them being mean to them. But I loved Trix, the way, like their aesthetic. Darcy, look at her. Her makeup, great. Her hair, two-tone hair again. This is like this whole trend that happened in the past year and like year and a half or whatever. They could have capitalized on it and made a show that would have reminded everyone of this e-girl trend that happened in 2020. In terms of silhouettes, she has, in her clothes, she has a little bit of a 70s vibe going on, but in purples. 70s clothing, usually there's a lot of flared pants. It's usually jean pants, or sometimes it's like brownish. Whatever I'm gonna show you, whatever images I'm showing you, just imagine them being like purple or plum or something like that, something out of the Trix world instead of this typical 1970s kind of color palette. It's just I couldn't find anything that was 1970s style and being purple. Her glasses, I love her style. Like when I was rewatching it, I completely forgot about it. Did not think about it when I was a child, but I was like, oh my god, this is so 70s, and I love the way that they made her a witch that dresses like a 70s hippie a little bit. So this is the first outfit that I picked. Could be for her. Stormy has a lot of shoelaces tied around her. I don't know what to call it. So this outfit, for example, very much her. I think that if the colors were a little bit different, so just imagine it being blacks, blues, purples, plums. This pants, this one, also because of the pants and also the cutouts on the sides, I think would look really cool. The hair, again, I used the same image because I wanted to remind you, she literally has e-girl hair too. The glasses, couldn't find the right color. This type of outfit would also work, I think. This one, look at this. The way that it's cut, the top, the silhouette in general, just gives you that vibe. This one, also very like, it just reminds me of Trix. And considering that she's around Stormy and Icy all the time, she needs a little bit of a coat. This outfit, again, change the brown to like dark purple or something like that, and it would be Darcy, I think. Icy, loved Icy. Her hair, her nails, she has acrylic nails, which is great. I don't think that other characters have it. I think maybe Stormy has it. Stormy has long nails as well, but only when they're transformed into their like witch self. This is her like witch outfit. This is her like everyday outfit. Her hair, it's always in a ponytail, whatever. So this is the first outfit that I picked out. It's a little bit more preppy. I see her as a little bit more like a preppy girl. Blue, icy colors. This dress, this type of outfit, this type of like cut of the shirt, I think would look really good on Icy. She's gonna have to wear a lot of Swarovski stones on her dresses. Remember that Rihanna moment?
Yes, I am. Why, my bother you?
Oh no!
They're covered in Swarovski crystals, girl.
This dress, this type of dress, perfect for her. I want Icy to be Icy. Hair, look at how great this would be for her. This type of ponytail, this type of shirt, pants that have like silver chains in them, pants that have cut off and they're reattached again, because she has like really high boots. Yeah, thigh-high boots like this, for example. This types of nails. I'm just so sad that they don't have Trix in the show, but at the same time I'm like, well, it wouldn't be great anyway, so who cares? Stormy, her hair, two tones again. It's very e-girl again. Look at her outfit. She has a lot of hoop, I guess. I don't know what to call this, in her apparel. And look at this. She has exactly what I told you when I was talking about Darcy, this shoelace going on around her waist. Iconic. So I picked this dress. I think it would, if it would have been a little bit more purpley, I would like it even more. This one where I picked for the hoop in the middle, and the way that it's like structured just reminds me of her outfit. This one too. This hair, right? Come on, this looks like Stormy's hair. I mean, it's not the front, but I think that this looks, there's another one look where it's the front, but I think I like when it's just a little bit on the edges everywhere than just at the front. This hair too, it would be really cool if she just, like, she could just have it on one side or something like that. This outfit reminds me of her like 100% just because of the tying, you know, around the waist and the two-piece. So this one, it's a little bit more chill, but the tights that she would wear, crop top, and the nails, because she has like the acrylic nails too, and I think that this is like a perfect Stormy color. So setting. So this is the pictures of the original, which I thought it was really funny or really interesting in terms of the animation. They decided to go with some 3D animation, some 3D modeling to have setting shots, and then they would have 2D animation placed within it. Sometimes it was really awkward. There's a lot of problems in the first season. I think that it's actually not just first season, it's multiple seasons where they have animation problems like that, but at the same time it's kind of innovation for the time, especially to just combine the two instead of committing to one or the other. And I'm glad that they didn't commit to all 3D animation. We all remember Bratz and how it looked. 3D animation wasn't great back then. Their dorms, oh my god, I used to love their dorms. I wanted to have rooms like that. It's just so pretty. And this is Magic's, the downtown area. Very modern, a lot of high-speed trains, a lot of flying cars, which again, they just didn't do any of that. They just decided to do some kind of Harry Potter kind of thing, which just doesn't fit with Winx. I don't understand. I thought that it would be cool if they had some moments, or the entire show. I would do the entire show being kind of like magical, a little bit with a little bit of filter, a little bit blended, you know, unless you're on Earth, and then it could have been really like just normal shooting, you know, and then when they're in Alfea or something like that, it could have been a little bit more like this. For the witches, for their school, they could have had Dark Academia and like Gothic Castle with a lot of like the same kind of filters where it's still sparkly and still magical, but it's dark and gothic. And then they could have had something like this inside, something that just looks magical. Then this type of outside area would look really good and very realistic because it is real life, you know, it's not like I'm just showing some sketches. Just give us something bright and cheerful, also more technologically advanced. You can't just lean into the old school Earth Renaissance kind of architecture and that's it. You have to combine the two to make magics. So I thought that it would be cool to just have some pretty stuff going on in the shots, you know, just like some bubbles or whatever, just floating by, practicing magic with bubbles, not like those dark powers of this is fire and water and whatever, but just something whimsical and beautiful. Just why do you hate Joy so much? Parties and stuff like that, just film everything with this slightly blurry thing going on. So all the images I have, just a few notes. I don't get why they decided to have this whole Bloom backstory to be completely different in terms of how she was with her parents, how she found out about her powers. Her relationship with her parents in the Winx show, in the original, was really, really good. And I think they should have kept it that way because it was a good relationship. They were really sweet, very understanding, instead of accidentally burn them while they were sleeping because of a stupid argument. What for? I think that the creators are confused. They're talking about how they wanted to make a show that's more adult. They wanted to make a show that would cater to the audience, that the core audience of Winx watchers that were like 10 back then and now are in their 20s. Well, you can't do it by doing this, that's for sure, because the aesthetic is bad. It looks like it was made in 2013. In terms of the storyline, I think that the original did it really well in terms of it all makes sense, you know, and it makes sense in a way that would give so much good material for drama in an adult series where you could do the same things as in the original. Except the original is just a little bit more drawn out. The way that they speak to each other is obviously made for children, but the plot points are not bad. There was no need for her to find out about her powers through accidentally burning her parents in the bed. They could have done it the same way as it was done in the show, that she just stumbles upon Stella. The fact that there's no Trix, why not? I genuinely don't understand most of the decisions that they've made. It was already figured out for you. It wasn't childish. The main plot points weren't childish. The way that they were executed were definitely for children. You could have definitely done it in a different way, but there was no need to remove some things and replace them with some kind of weird concoction of ideas that don't really make any sense. They added a lot more. Someone murdered someone or whatever, but it doesn't really work. Should have been more complex and more interesting. I don't know why they needed to make it all look dark but have really stupid plot lines happening. This is it. If you're into shows like Riverdale or something like that, or like, I don't know, Vampire Diaries, and you don't know the original Winx, and you're not gonna feel like really annoyed that there's no like fashion inspiration and it's kind of bad 2013 fashion, you're probably gonna enjoy it. But if you know the show, like some pizzazz, some sparkle, you're not gonna enjoy it. That's just what it is.